Have you ever noticed how money feels like it's constantly running away from you? Like, no matter how much you earn, no matter how hard you try, it just keeps slipping through your fingers. You get paid, you feel good for maybe a day, sometimes just a few hours, and then reality shows up. Bills, subscriptions you forgot about, groceries that somehow cost double what you expected, and before you even realize it, that paycheck already has plans you weren't invited to. You're not reckless. You're not irresponsible. You're just tired. Tired of feeling like money only exists to be spent. Tired of working hours just to watch the numbers reset back to zero every month. Tired of hearing people say things like, make your money work for you, while your money refuses to even sit still. I remember lying in bed once, staring at the ceiling, doing that quiet mental math we all do late at night. If nothing breaks, if nothing unexpected happens, if I don't mess up, I might be okay. And that's such a weird place to live, where your entire sense of safety depends on nothing going wrong. Somewhere around that time, I realized I spend way too much time thinking about money. Not in a flashy stock market way, not in a luxury lifestyle way, but in a psychological way. Why does money feel so heavy for some people and almost invisible for others? Why do two people earning the same income experience completely different levels of stress? And when people say, eventually money starts working for you, what does that even mean?
Because for most of us, money doesn't work for us at all. It works against us. It demands attention. It creates pressure. It disappears the moment we touch it. But there is a moment, a very specific one, when that relationship flips. Not when you get rich, not when you hit some magic income number, not when you finally figure everything out. There's a quieter moment, almost anticlimactic, when money stops chasing you and starts walking beside you. When effort finally compounds instead of evaporates. And once you understand exactly when that moment happens and why, everything about how you save, spend, and invest begins to feel different. So let's talk about that moment, not in a motivational way, but in a real, human way. When money is still your employer. For most people, money doesn't work for them. They work for money. And not metaphorically, literally. Money controls their schedule, when they wake up, how long they work,
what risks they can take, what problems they can afford to have. When money is scarce, it becomes your boss. It tells you what you can't do. You can't quit. You can't pause. You can't invest yet. You can't think long term. You're stuck trading time for stability. Hour in, dollar out. And that's not failure. That's survival. The problem is survival mode changes how your brain works. When every dollar is needed immediately, your thinking shrinks. You stop asking what's best and start asking what's safest. You choose certainty over growth. You keep cash sitting idle because fear feels louder than math. You avoid investing because volatility feels like danger, not opportunity. This is why advice often feels useless early on. It's not that the advice is wrong, it's that it assumes you have margin, and margin changes everything. The day you realize saving isn't enough. At some point, usually after months or years of disciplined saving, something uncomfortable happens. You look at your savings account, and it's decent, not amazing, but not empty either. And instead of feeling relieved, you feel confused, because the number isn't really growing anymore. You save, then it plateaus. You add money, inflation eats it. You earn interest, technically, but it's laughably small. That's usually the moment people think, is this it? Because saving protects money, but it doesn't multiply it. Saving is defensive, and defense alone can't build wealth. This realization can feel discouraging at first. You did everything right, budgeting, discipline, consistency, and yet the growth feels slow. But this moment is important because it's the moment your relationship with money begins to mature. You stop seeing money as something to hide and start seeing it as something to deploy.
The difference between earning and owning. Here's one of the most important distinctions nobody explains early enough. Earned money depends on your effort. Owned money depends on time. When you work for money, growth is linear. More hours equals more income. But when money works for you, growth becomes exponential. It compounds. Slowly at first, painfully slowly, then quietly faster. The problem is that compounding is boring in the beginning. It doesn't feel powerful. It feels broken. You invest $1,000 and it earns $40, and you think, that's it? But compounding isn't impressive early. It's impressive later. Like watching a plane accelerate on a runway. It looks slow right until it lifts off. Most people give up before liftoff, not because compounding doesn't work, but because it doesn't give emotional feedback fast enough. The exact moment money starts working for you. Here it is. The moment money starts working for you is when your money earns more than your effort did that day. Not your salary, not your annual income, your daily effort. The day your investments grow more than what you made working, even by a few dollars, something clicks. You realize, I made money without doing anything. You didn't clock in, you didn't sell, you didn't stress. Money moved on its own. That's the moment. And it's not dramatic, there are no fireworks, but internally it's profound. Because now wealth feels possible, not theoretical. Even if it's $5, even if it's $12, even if it's less than a coffee, it proves something new exists, a second engine. And once that engine is running, your financial life splits into two paths: effort money and growth money.
Why this moment changes how you think. After that moment, work feels different. Not pointless, just lighter. Because work is no longer your only source of progress. You're no longer pushing the boulder alone. Money is pushing with you. You stop obsessing over every purchase. You stop panicking at market dips. You stop checking balances constantly, because growth no longer depends on perfection. It depends on patience. That shift alone reduces financial anxiety dramatically. You realize you don't need to win every month. You just need to stay in the game. Time becomes your biggest ally instead of your enemy. Why most people never reach this point? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people never experience the moment money starts working for them. Not because they can't, but because they never keep money invested long enough. They pull it out at the first downturn. They stop contributions when life gets messy. They expect fast results from slow systems. Compounding requires boredom, repetition, faith in math when emotion screams otherwise. That's not easy, especially when the world constantly tells you money should be exciting. But wealth is built quietly, not loudly. The role of time in why it matters more than amount. People obsess over how much they need to invest, but time matters more than dollars. 10 years of consistency beats one big lucky move. Money working for you isn't about brilliance, it's about duration. The longer your money stays invested, the more labor it performs on your behalf. Time is the worker, money is the tool. You are just the manager who doesn't interfere too much. When life stops resetting every month. There's a subtle shift that happens after money starts working for you. Your life stops resetting to zero every month. Before, each paycheck erased the past.
Now progress accumulates. Each month stacks on the last. Even bad months don't fully erase good ones. That's stability. That's momentum. That's when financial peace starts replacing financial stress. Not because you're rich, but because your progress no longer depends on perfect behavior. What this moment is not. Let's be clear, this moment does not mean you stop working, you stop budgeting, you stop caring. It means work is no longer the only source of growth. Money becomes a partner instead of a burden. A quiet one, a patient one, one that doesn't demand attention every day. How to reach this moment faster. Not through hype, not through risky bets, but through boring consistency, automated investing, long-term thinking, ignoring noise, letting time do the heavy lifting. Your job is not to make money grow fast. Your job is to stop interrupting it. That's it. The exact moment money starts working for you doesn't look impressive from the outside. No one claps, no notification pops up, your lifestyle probably doesn't change at all. But internally, everything shifts. Because for the first time, your future isn't built solely on effort. It's built on momentum. Money stops feeling like something you chase. It becomes something that follows you, quietly, patiently, relentlessly. You realize that wealth isn't created by intensity, it's created by endurance. Not by brilliance, but by staying invested long enough for money to finally say, "All right, I'll help." If you're not there yet, that's okay. Most people aren't. But now you know what you're aiming for. Not a dollar amount, not a lifestyle, a moment. The moment your effort is no longer alone. And once you reach it, even briefly, you'll never see money the same way again. Because that's when you stop running on a treadmill and start walking on a moving path. Slow at first, then steady, then unstoppable. And that's when money finally begins to work for you, even while you sleep.